Hello everyone and welcome to the Anime Zillia, and today we're going to be talking about Dr. Stone, episode 22 of the anime series. Now then, this episode starts off with a will he or won't he type of vibe, as we continue off from last week's episode, where we learnt that Mangma will be the one to join Chrome and Senku on their journey to find tungsten. Now, one slight criticism I had of this part was that they repeated the word tungsten so many times that if you were to turn it into a drinking game and have a shot every time they said the word tungsten, you'd be on the floor needing medical treatment. Yes, they say it so many times at the beginning of this episode. I thought I just rewatched the same clip a couple of times. Turns out I didn't. And we all know how much of a scumbag Mangma is as a person, and this is why the thought of will he betray Senku just to get the village under his control and basically explain it as like it was some sort of accident was so effectively used in this episode because it lingered in the back of the audience's mind. We all know that Mangma is probably someone that would do that if anyone in the village. Maybe Gen might, I suppose, because he could talk his way out of any situation. But Mangma, you never really could trust or understand what was going on in that meathead of his. And I love the way that they actually used that. I don't know if you can call it a technique as such, but I just think it's good writing. Now, we keep getting into situations while we're inside the cave where Mangma could very, very easily take advantage and cause a lot of trouble by basically offing Senku, really. And if you can read people, then you'll know that Mangma wasn't ever trying to betray Senku, because Mangma made so many facial expressions and so many movements that you wouldn't really kind of put down as, like, for example, with the punch that he dealt to try and get Senku out of the way. He heard the crack, fine, and he knew that the floor was unstable. If he really was trying to take out Senku at that point, he would have gone for a full-blown punch and not hit him with the back of his fist, like he actually did. You know, he was probably enjoying the fact that he could hit Senku, but he wasn't trying to break his ribs and crush any of his lungs or organs. Because there are two reasons as to why Mangma would not and will not betray Senku in this episode. Those two reasons. Number one, Gen. Before venturing off, Gen mentions something to Mangma, and we don't actually know what that something is until later on in the episode. And, you know, being the meathead that he is, he's probably still cautious of Gen and his tricks, thinking that, you know, with the heart explosion technique that Gen used, probably thinks he could do that again. Well, that's what I was thinking. But I'll explain more in just a second. Number two, Tsukasa. Mangma knows he can't beat Tsukasa in a one-on-one fight. As much as he hates to admit it, he can't even beat Hyuga, who is the underling of Tsukasa. So the relationship between Mangma and Senku is like the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and it's that type of relationship that they have. Mangma even states, look, you have until we take care of this Tsukasa guy. If you show me anything that is lame, then I'll off you. But if you keep entertaining me, then I'll keep you around until after Tsukasa is taken care of. Like, he knows Tsukasa is the main threat, so he's not going to betray a potential aid in Senku. Now, going back to reason number one, we find out later that Gen told him that the thing that he was whispering to him at the beginning of the episode had something to do with Senku's birthday. And that being January 24th. Meaning that Gen had this plan to set up a big surprise for Senku. And if Mangma was to off Senku on this voyage, the whole village would be very annoyed at him, because the whole village end up pitching in. And speaking of Gen, his questioning skills were absolutely brilliant in this episode. Gen, from the last week's episode, asked a question, you know, the internal clock is all screwed up. You know, how can someone predict when a day is a day that is a special event? And Senku's like, just count how many days you've been alive. And from that, and from the information of when Senku basically wrote the year when he unpetrified, managed to lead Gen to the realization that January 24th was in fact Senku's birthday. And I love the surprise that he had, because the whole village basically pitched in to help with this surprise. They wanted to make an that's not the right image I want to show. Where's the right image? That one. They wanted to show an observatory. So basically, they had a telescope at the top, and this would allow Senku to look at the stars. And we all know how much Senku loves to look at the stars. It's just one of those things that he loves. And this is a very nice sentimental gift from the whole village, with everyone pitching in. And it was a very nice feeling at the end of this episode to finish off on. It just shows how much they appreciate everything that Senku has done for them. So I thought that was really cool as well. So again, you did a great job in this episode. Keep it up. Now, obviously the main focus, like I said, was about Mangma and Senku. You know, it was all about their relationship and them trying to get a bond of some sort, and to basically show that they're not on the same page 100%, but they are on the same side. And, you know, I love the fact that Mangma was like, look, don't show me anything pathetic and I won't end you. That's just typical to his character, and yet, I got something in my eye, oops. And yet he stays true to it, as he saves Senku twice in one episode. Once where, you know, we're supposed to believe that he's betraying him, you know, with the whole floor caving in, and the other time is when they're trapped in a hole and the water's coming in and Senku almost catches hypothermia, which would be dangerous. Mangma throws him out, thus saving him again. You know, it's these type of things that back up Mangma's words. He's a character that's more action than words themselves, and that's pretty good. I don't mind it, but I just don't like Mangma as a character. So the route they took to show the relationship between Senku and Mangma evolving and developing was a correct route in my opinion. I love the way that they showed Gen fangirling over Senku in this episode as well. I thought that was pretty cool. And the comedy was great overall. The story and the feels in this episode, brilliant, all pleasant to watch. The only criticism I do have though is the animation dipped a little bit from time to time. For example, this monstrosity. Like, you see these two characters here, they're animated, I don't know why I moved my mouse because you can't see it, but they're animated relatively decently, and then you look at Kohaku in the background and it's like, really? You're giving her the short straw again? It's like, fine, whatever. So that's the only gripe that I had. Overall, this episode was funny, and it had a great story and a good focus. So I enjoyed it. Let me know what your thoughts were on this episode down in the comment section below. If you've enjoyed it, let me know, tell me why. Like the video if you liked the video, dislike if you disliked, and subscribe so you never miss a video from me. Until next time, I hope you'll have an amazing day, and I'll be catching you later. Bye-bye for now.